Hey everybody, this is JoJo Lewis. I'm the Dungeon Master for The Rolls We Made, an actual play podcast, because the real podcast was the rolls we made along the way. I can't believe that's what I decided to call this thing. Thank you so much for listening to the very first episode. We worked really hard on it, and we hope it's something that you're going to delight in and enjoy and tell all your friends about, because we are proud of making it, and we hope that you can take a pride in listening to it. I'm JoJo. I am the Dungeon Master of this particular campaign. It is a 5th edition setting with some minor tweaks in order to facilitate, the kind of story we want to tell. And I got to be completely honest, I did have to change some of the rules later on because I was a little overzealous. But hey, that's the fun for me, is trying out stuff to put my friends through. The elevator pitch for this particular adventure, I don't know that you need one, but it might be interesting. It is a comedic take on Persona 4 with a bunch of heroes effectively going to fantasy high school, if that makes sense. So there you go. If that's something that you're into, hey, we got you covered in spades, my man. Our release schedule is such that the next episode is going to come out in 2 weeks. So the next episode will be based on my calendar, it's going to be April 10th. April 10th is going to be the next one. That's 2 weeks away. But if you want to get a head start, you can head over to JoJo Has Fun on YouTube. There's going to be a link in the description where you can listen to our Session 0 episode, and you get to hear the creation of Wren, Hemlock, and Salt, the main characters of our game. That Session 0 episode is also going to be available on the podcast as its own episode next Friday. So that's 3 weeks in a row, I guess. You get good episode fun times. So look forward to that. I will say that this show is new. It's a new podcast, and what's really important with new podcasts is giving them, you guessed it, good ratings. If you could please give us a 5-star review on iTunes and or the podcast app of your choice, as well as give us a nice typed out review, that would be awesome. We're a new podcast, and that stuff is really important. And maybe we'll make it so there's a way you guys can get in touch with us if you want to ask questions or leave comments or things like that. But the best way to support us would be to subscribe or give us a good rating and review. And please do so and tell your friends, because, hey, more the merrier, right? Okay, that was odd. Thank you so much for listening to this rambly opening part. Let's get on with the show. Thank you. It's autumn, the first day of school. Near the riverside town of Spring Willow, the tall oak trees of the spider-stretch woods have begun to shed their leaves in large orange sheets. A particularly strong gust of wind seems to knock half the forest down as the sun begins its slow rise over nearby Mount Helene, its languid beams falling into the town in a patient rhythm. At around 5:50 in the morning, the first ray of light hits the old clock tower, sitting on Grewald the baker's shop in the center of town. He shares the space with Spring Willow's blacksmith's guild, and must have the fire raging before anyone else comes awake. A few minutes after this, at a run-down old building in the south part of Spring Willow, the light creeps in through a crack in the door, and the unmistakable sound of bagpipes fills the air, acting as a wake-up call for the Reds, the town's resident gang of streetwise youth. Then, at 6:22 in the morning, the rays just begin to warm the back of Lewent, the headmaster of Spring Willow Academy, one of the many public education facilities in the nation of Middern. Lewent is not the first person to get to Spring Willow Academy, but is certainly the most excited. He knows, more than most, that a school year promises many, many things. Lewent reflects that for most of the students, the first day of school marks another step that they take towards adulthood, and smiles at this fact. And it's true, the first day of school is a day of grand beginnings. But for one student, this may very well be the last day they ever see.
So it is time to weave a tale of whimsy and woe.
Do we have a theme song for this?
I love it.
We do have a theme song.
Is it playing before this just happened?
Yes. Well, it's either gonna be sad or like hopeful, thoughtful. Because I was like
hopeful thought.
well, because whatever song is playing right now is probably not the one I already wrote. Because the one I already wrote was like, oh, something really fucked up just happened.
Oh, I'm looking so.
This is more the happy song. So anyway, yeah, welcome to JoJo Has Fun. I don't know what we're gonna call
What's
this podcast.
the name of this adventure? Did you name it or title it?
Yes, this is called. The whole campaign is called Spring Willow Academy, and this arc is called The Aura of Autumn.
Oh, that's right. I
That's
remember
what
that.
it's called.
It's like two girls that I knew in high school.
Aura and Autumn.
Well, now I have to change all that shit. No, there's no one here named Aura or Autumn.
Yet.
The leaves are changing though, so that's in the air. I'm JoJo. I'm the dungeon master boy. I make the monsters and I spring the traps and I kill my friends. Hi. So just
It was like, wait.
What did I sign up for?
Well, that's unrelated. Let's just go around before I get into this shit. And we're gonna curse, by the way. Who you are and what who you're playing. Because for some people they might not have heard that episode that we made about the background.
Fuck those people.
You have new socks on.
I want to hear it.
Look at Joe's new socks.
What?
They're so pretty.
They're fruit of the loom.
Pretty new socks.
That's
I like
right.
the color.
Here's our old socks.
I thought those were Amazon Basic socks.
They're Belega Hidden Comfort socks that I bought in Santa Rosa.
How hidden is that comfort? Do they feel good at all?
No, they're like 4 years old now.
That's
So
delightful.
they're a thin layer of nothing between my foot and the shoe.
I love it. All right. Okay, Emma,
Yes.
you're a funny lady.
Yeah.
Cool.
My name,
Who are-
first of all, for this, my name is Emma Hansey.
That was an error I made that
That's my Christian name.
I noticed the error and I refused to fix it.
I would also do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see. I could see it.
So who is your character? Tell us about them.
I'm Wren Stevens, and I'm a bard.
That's like
And just to be clear, Disney, it's W-R-E-N.
Yes.
Steffens with a PH,
Yes.
and we'll probably nickname Ren Steffens Dubs
That's
a lot of the time.
the way you said that made me think you were like arriving on Ellis Island and they were like name and profession.
Emma Hansey, Bard.
Bard.
I'm a bard. Yeah.
Another Bard.
Oh yeah. Do we have to do voices for this?
I would.
You heard.
I would
mine.
prefer if you do.
If I do.
Yeah, if in situations that call for it, yes, I would like it if you did voices.
So do you want me to do like this voice or like this voice?
You know what? As long as I can tell the difference between Ren and Emma, I'll be fine.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
Good buddy Jeff.
What's cracking, yo?
Who are you?
I'm a fantasy boy.
He sure is.
My name is Hemlock with quotations around it.
It's a nickname.
Hemlock Jones.
That name has grown on me
Yeah.
so much.
Hemlock
So much.
Hemlock Jones sounds like a new Fox and Fox animation show that's gonna last one season. So
Aw.
I'm a
He
rogue.
solves crimes and busts rhymes. Hemlock Jones.
Done in the animation style of every other cartoon. I'm a Rouge.
He's a rouge.
Yeah, I'm a human. It says Tethrian. What is that?
So when you pick a human character, they make you pick their like sub race, which is
Oof.
a bunch of bullshit.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Everyone like half elves and orcs and shit. They don't have that, but humans do
Wow.
because humans are boring.
Wow, yeah,
Right.
they
You know
are.
what?
They are.
Yeah, there's many different
out.
kinds of humans, but there's only one kind of like high elf. So whatever.
I don't know what Tethrian is, but in my head, it's like the fantasy equivalent of white trash.
Just I
Wait,
can't.
yours is human and what?
I can't.
Tethrian.
Human and white trash.
Yeah, I'm
like
a white.
that.
Mine then. Human and I can't pronounce
I think it's yours says Illuskin.
Yeah.
I don't know what those look
Part
like.
snake.
I just picked a random one.
Slither.
Yes, Hemlock Jones is our rouge, and we have producer Danielle.
Yes.
Whom are you?
I am Saltimus Maximus,
That's right.
the half-elf warlock.
Yep.
And I am also the Danielle on no antihistamines, who is both loopy and a little bit coffee.
Yeah, Daniel's voice does
The
not
drink?
usually sound like
Yeah,
this.
it sounds like you're doing an impression of
I
yourself.
am not doing an impression. This is my voice now.
Well, this is going to be your character voice then, because I love it. Okay.
God damn it.
All right. So we will begin.
I did want to say one thing.
What do you wanna- what
I
do
was
you wanna
saving it
say?
for when we were on recording. Is that I have a single goal
Uh-huh.
for this for my character.
Is it to go to prom?
It's not to go to
Is
prom.
it to get laid?
Is no, not my guy's. No, I got a girlfriend. She's in Fantasy Canada. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
Canada?
We're all
How do you
sure
know I
do.
invented Canada?
Sure you
The
do.
land of the invisibles.
And they're all swimsuit
Canada.
models.
All-
Okay.
this is all
We're all
Canada.
sure Jonesy.
All right, buddy.
So I wanna be in a band. And the name of that band is Mage Against the Machine. That's my
Well,
goal.
that's not going to happen right away. But
See,
That's
when
a
the
third art kind
yeah.
of.
when the talent show pops up, we'll see.
Yeah, so just so we're clear, this whole game is they're going to fantasy high school.
Yeah.
And if you've ever played like a Persona game, then that's sort of what we're going for, or what I'm going for. But I don't know how familiar these three jokesters are with that.
None.
I've
Not.
played Persona.
Jeff is intimately familiar.
I made a relationship with the teacher in the newest one.
I'm sure you did.
What?
Good job, Scout.
Yeah. Good job, Skipper. Okay, we will start her up. I will read a thing that I
Not enough people are named Skipper.
No.
Remember how Barbie's
should
little
bring it
sister
back.
was Skipper?
Yeah.
And I have never in my entire
Do you remember,
life.
did you ever own a skipper? Or what was that?
That was
Boy.
I never had anybody.
Like a bow skip?
No, it was like plastic and crappy and it wrapped around your ankle.
Oh,
A skip bow.
yeah.
A skip bow.
Yeah, the skip it?
Yeah, I think it was a skip.
I think it's a skip
It was
it.
bop it for your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it would track how many times you managed to skip it.
Yes.
And then you took that information and did something with it. I don't know.
The same thing you do with your high score, Jeff.
Bop-o-matic, skip it.
Put it on a little piece of paper and tucked it away in my pocket.
Yep.
Okay, so here we go.
Everyone have patience with me. It's my first day.
Have patience with me because I have to read so much shit and I have to do voices.
I'm going to be coughing a lot.
So just this.
Did you just burp?
I did. Today's like our tutorial. It's gonna be today. It'll be pretty structured, and then the next school day you'll be a little more free to do shit.
Sweet.
It is a cool September morning in Springwellow. It's the first day of school. I'm also going to introduce you three individually, so we'll worry about that
Oh,
now.
hell yeah.
Like most first days, it is filled with movement, hope, and fear. It's 7 a.m. at the opulent residence of Saltimus Maximus, of the Verisa Maximi. I don't know how the plural of your name is. They're
Sounds
fancy,
good.
yeah.
I like it.
She's awake, getting ready, and her well-made spring willow uniform is already fitting quite well.
Okay, that's weird.
Sadly, something is amiss. Inside your room, as you poke around, you cannot find your book bag. What do you do?
Oh, I yell.
You yell?
Yeah.
Who do you yell for?
Doesn't matter. I yell at the bag until it comes.
Okay, your constant terrible screaming brings a servant in and opens the door. It's a small gnome man, probably in his 60s, and he comes up to you and he's like, "Mistress, can I help you with anything?"
Well, now I don't know. Can you tell me if you are my book bag? Because if you are not,
"No, madam, I'm not your book bag. I will."
then you better fucking find it.
Cool beans. And
Okay, shuffle off now.
so this small gnome man, what do we want to call this guy?
Book bag.
His name is now Book Bag.
Book bag. He proceeds to start looking around your room. He's being very careful not to go in any drawers or anything. He's looking under the
better not.
bed. And actually, I want you to make a perception check.
Ooh, am I going to have to kill book bag?
God, I hope not. I love him. He's my new favorite character.
Oh, he did.
Oh no.
17.
Okay, with a 17, so you have a very fancy bed. Saltimus is the rich kid.
Yes, she is.
And in this very fancy bed, you're looking at the top. It has like 4 posts with like a net over it. And at the top, you see, just peeking over the edge of the top, you see Genuine. So
I forgot, and then I remember.
For the people at home, who is Genuine?
There's a Genuine hanging from the corner of your 4-post bed.
I just realized I did that.
Oh, man, you walked right by it, Joe.
I
It was
know.
right there for you. Genuine is my pony.
Genuine,
Stop.
as it was described to me by Danielle, is a cross between a miniature pony and like a velociraptor.
Yes.
He has 4 like pony legs, but
Yeah.
they're like they end in claws, and his head is
Humanoid
very
claws.
pony. Yeah, they're like fingers and stuff.
Long
This is
fingers.
Salad
And-
fingers.
Are you the only one who could see this?
Yes,
Thank God.
but it's always
now.
there.
It's always-
For now.
And he has a long pony-like snout that ends with like fangs, and his face looks like, just for the folks at home, imagine if the real Genuine had like very sunken eyes. Real sunken.
Googling.
Apologies to Genuine.
And just like he looks like he might, like, if you had seen him laying down, you'd be like, well, that's a dead whatever. But he's very much alive, and he's
Oh my
looking
gosh,
down at
that
you.
works. I just looked up Genuine.
I know, it's the same picture I saw. Most likely, you're like, oh, I see it.
I'm like,
Right?
You guys,
Yep.
Yeah, that's
there
the
it
one.
is. There it is. Yep.
And looking at the top of the bed, you see Genuine is sitting at the edge of it, and he has your book bag. It's just sitting right next to his paw, and from where it's positioned, book bag the gnome is under the bed, like looking around.
Is he
And
in?
on the top is Genuine holding the book bag like over him, and he's making a look to you like, hmm?
Why the fuck would you look at me?
And then
Fucking do it.
And then book bag is like, did you say something? Ah! And Genuine just drops the fucking bag. And it was filled with your books.
I
You
love
had a
him.
bunch of books in there.
He's a scamp. I
And it
love
just
him.
cracks him. It cracks book bag, and he's like, ah! And he rolls over and he picks it up and he goes, here's your book, madam. And he
He's like, my legs don't feel anything.
can't feel my tippy toes, but I won't dance again. And he hands you the book back, and he's very like, oh, here you are, madam.
Well, okay, now shuffle off.
Very well, ma'am. And book bag shuffles off, and at the top of the 4-post bed is Genuine staring at book bag as he leaves, and he goes, I don't like that one, but I find him to be very entertaining.
Oh, well, I was going to get rid of him, but I guess I'll keep him around them if you like. I mean, if you want to, I don't know, play with him sometimes.
So when you look back to see where Genuine is, and he will do this a lot, he's just like gone now.
He's like Batman in that way.
So,
I would put him more like Catman,
Oh, okay.
because he's like a cat.
God damn it, Genuine. Don't fucking do that shit. You're going to make me look crazy.
Do what? And he's sitting on top.
Motherfucker!
He's like, this
The
is
Cheshire
my,
Cat, basically.
this is my whole day. Why are you all dressed up?
There's a concept you may not have heard of. It's called school and learning.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we have that where I'm from.
It doesn't seem like it.
Wow. And he stretches out like this and does the thing that cats do when they make muffins, but like the scariest possible way.
Scratch.
Like as he claws into the
Yeah,
top
you're
of
like-
your desk, like he actually leaves like horrific claw marks in it. And then he just lays down and snuggles up, and he's like,
Oh my gosh.
I'll be along shortly.
Book bag.
Yes.
Fix my desk. It's fix. I need you to
So
fix
from book bag comes back in, and he's like, what is it? Oh,
that. Yeah.
because from his perspective, There's just these terrifying scratch marks on the top of the desk.
Book bag, your name is Tabletop now. Fix it.
I will switch that. So now you have your book bag. You are all set to go to school. Is there anything else you want to do before you head off to school?
I would like to cast one long, lingering glance out the window and contemplate how it shall all be mine.
Roll for that.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
There's a cat on me. I lost.
Also, roll to eat a toaster strudel.
Actually, you know what? Make a Dexterity saving throw.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, all right. Let's try that again. 5.
As you start looking out the window to kind of think about
Behold my kingdom.
all the power you're going to have this year,
Yeah.
you hear this incredibly loud, like a slam against the window, and Genuine is just like against the window like this. And he's like, boo! And you tumble backward.
Okay.
I love Genuine.
I do too.
Genuine, God damn it!
I hope I get to see him
I will
someday.
send you back to hell.
My God.
No, I'm like, fuck, man.
He's like the creature from Insidious now.
Yeah.
Yes, Genuine is your familiar who is both your constant
For
companion
now.
and regards you with mild contempt. So,
I will kill him. Don't worry.
with that, Saltimus, you head off to school. You're going to walk to school today. No particular reason. That's just what you're going to do. Because
I
in the
tried
story,
to
that's what
ride
happens.
Genuine, but he wouldn't.
He is not corporeal for you.
He
So you
is
just fall down.
Scrappy.
Next up, at the same time that Salt is mercilessly torturing poor book bag / tabletop, a few blocks south of her place in far more modest accommodations is the young bard Wren Stevens, who is also getting ready.
The audience applause sign.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right?
Don't get used to all this solo action right away. Like this
no,
is just
it's
for today.
fine. I'm nervous.
She's already ready for school, has got her lute over her shoulder. It's covered in stickers for various
Hell yeah.
punk rock bard bands, I would imagine.
Do you have any names?
Not off the top of my head, but I'll
God.
think of them.
Please.
I'm going to just Google punk rock bands as we're doing this. Because I didn't even think of that detail until just now.
I'm not good at this.
And you are looking also like quite professional in your Spring Willow uniform. By the way, I assume in this role that the uniforms are like a masculine version and a feminine version, but you guys can imagine whatever you want. It can be like,
I'll have like a feminine bottom, but a masculine top.
okay, so like a
Like it.
skirt with like a really nice
Kind of
coat.
like a kilt.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I like that.
it.
And as you leave you don't have a very big house. It's like your room, your parents' room, and then like a common room where the kitchen is. And as you walk out, you see your father, who I'm going to call Daniel
Yeah,
Steffens.
that tracks.
He is struggling with a jar, like really struggling. And he looks up to you and he's like, "Oh, hey, Pumpkin. Do you think you can help me with this jar?"
Yes.
Is this the start of the never-ending
Yes, I
story?
can.
It might be.
The start of a what?
So, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna help him open the can
How are you going to do that?
with my
Loot.
guns. These sweet, sweet guns.
Okay, make a strength roll. So roll the one with 20 sides,
The
First.
big one.
the
First
big one.
roll. What's it going to be?
Oof. Okay, here we go. 15.
It's not a bad first
Okay.
one.
It's not a bad.
With a 15, you can feel that he was doing nothing to this jar.
Oh.
And it quickly cracks open and the pungent smell of like pickled peppers comes out. And it smells like really good. Like these are probably like home pickled. In fact, they were.
Ooh. Fancy
And
pickle.
he takes the jar back and he's like, "Thanks, dear. Oh, you're looking all spiffy in your gender mismatched uniform. First day of school?
Yep.
All right. Well, you have a good day." And he sits down and he gets like a fork and he's just eating the pickles.
Can I be like, why can't I have a pickle? Can I have a pickle? I got a big day.
Yeah.
ahead of me.
Well, I got a big day too. It's the start of the new quarter. You know how many DMV reports I'm gonna have to? He works for the DMV, Department of Magical Vehicles.
You wouldn't even be eating them unless I opened them, though.
Make okay.
I'm sorry.
Make a charisma check because you're trying to convince him to do something.
Okay. So what do I do?
Roll the d20 again.
Again?
Pretty much the d20 is going to be for
My main
everything
dice.
except for like.
So I should just leave it handy.
Yeah, keep it on hand.
10
Okay. What's your bonus to charisma?
+3.
Wow.
Okay. He looks at you and he kind of like disappointed. He's like, "Well, here you go, dear." And he hands you the
I'm not
jar.
gonna eat the whole jar.
No, you have a big day. And he gets up like that. And he walks out. He was like, "And never forget who taught you how to be convincing." Then he walks out of the room.
So he just like abandons the pickle.
He abandons the pickles, but he made you feel bad.
He did. I feel like shit. I feel like fantasy shit right now.
Are you happy with your pickles now?
No, I'm not even gonna enjoy these.
So he walks out the door. He grabs his little briefcase. He was already dressed for work, and he's just out the door. And as you are all prepared, is there anything else you want to do before you leave to go to school? And some shit
Should I say goodbye to my mom? I feel like
Your mom already left for work.
Oh, damn.
overachiever. Okay.
Yeah, your dad had to stay behind to deal with that pickle situation.
Late on the first
once
day.
that was settled, like he was just off to the races.
It's the last thing.
But
welcome back.
like you said, it's the first day of the new quarter, so they have a lot.
They have a
of
lot to
extra
do.
stuff to
I
do.
get it. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel it. All
They're
right,
gonna be
no,
coming home late.
I'm gonna head off to school.
Sounds good. And as Wren heads off to school, finally we get to see in a small renovated warehouse, roughly halfway between Saltimus and Wren's home, we see Hemlock Jones.
Am I skateboarding? What's
You are
going
not
on?
skateboarding.
Are you crashing in an empty warehouse?
Oh man, I
So-
hope so. It's my
On a
loft.
sack?
This is one
Potato
of
sack.
Springwell Academy hosts students from all over Middern, and
Even the
this
poor
happens
ones.
to be one of the annexed dorms. This warehouse that they converted, which they do a lot in San Francisco. It's a real problem. It was literally this, or you're living in a shipping crate, and so I picked.
I like
this.
shipping great.
Nice. That's nice of you.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
you
Single
are pretty much ready to go, and you could probably sprint to school if you had to. You're looking very dapper.
In my warehouse attire, yes.
But you're not ready to leave yet because you haven't had a chance to like go into the bathroom and check your hair and stuff. Because your roommate has locked himself in the bathroom and is refusing to come out. This is very much a montage teenage movie opening, I
Yes.
realized, which I am enjoying.
I forget what's my roommate's name. Did we give him a name?
His name is Jelson.
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 Jelson, come on, bro.
No, I'm not coming out. I look ridiculous.
You don't need to shave your pubes for the first day of school.
You don't know that.
You're right. I don't. I don't have any yet.
Yes, you most certainly do.
Oh,
I don't know why I know.
hell yeah. Why isn't that on my character sheet? What the fuck?
How many pubes?
Like senior year, you better have a couple pubes.
At least
You
two.
can mark that in. So yeah, he's very good. So how do you? So I mean, you need to go in there.
All right. So I mean,
Dapper
is the door locked?
The door's locked.
All right. So I'm like, Jelson, dude, what's wrong?
Well, I keep trying to put on this horn cap, and it's not working. It looks stupid.
You're trying to put on a horn cap?
A horn cap, my horn cap for the horns I have.
Oh, your horn cap. I thought you said your Jorn cap.
What the hell is that?
I'm sorry, it's hard to hear you through the door. Anyways, I can help you with that, dude. Come on out. Let me see. Let me adjust it for you.
Make a d20 roll for charisma. What'd you get?
Got a 1.
This is why you're a rogue.
No! He's crying.
Okay.
He is straight up crying.
All right.
Jelson is not happy.
Pick the lock.
Let's see. Do I have the means to pick the lock?
You are a rogue.
I would like to pick the lock.
Yes.
All right. Do you need to roll for this? Yes, you do. Make a d20 roll to see if you're able to pick this
Well, that's
lock.
been going great so far.
I believe.
19.
Ooh.
So you deftly pick the lock.
And I wanted to do it where like the door just swings open.
In fact,
and I'm just
you
like,
know what? You picked the lock so well, part of you doubts it was locked to begin with.
oh,
It's unlocked so easily.
classic
And then
Jelson.
you see in front of you, well, it makes sense because in front of you is Jelson, an enormous half-orc man.
Oh, nice.
He's about 7.5 feet tall. He has like long black hair.
I'm
and
gonna climb that
he
tree.
is he is like sitting on like the privy or toilet, I guess, like just miserable because he has this little cylindrical cap that is supposed to go on like one of his teeth, and it like popped off. And because he has such fat fingers, you gather this all because you can see it, like the cap is tiny and his tooth is like big and his fingers are big. He can't fit it back on.
Dude,
no how.
this is a lion and mouse situation right now.
I don't know that metaphor.
Dude. Let a bro help out. Are we not bros, Jelson?
Jelson does believe you were bros.
Okay. Have we not been through thick and thin so far during our school years together?
I'm not going to roll to see if you have or not. I'm just going to assume that's true.
Yeah.
Are you going to just try to put the cap
I want to try and put the cap on with my deft little
No,
fingers.
talk some more.
No. Make a dexterity roll to see if you can put this back on.
Do not bite me. Oh Christ!
What'd you get?
4.
4?
What's your
bites.
what do you add?
He bites the shit.
My dex is +3, so I'm at 7.
With a 7, you try to put it back on with your bare hands, and you notice that like you can kind of get it into place, but you can't. Like you're gonna need to hammer it in a little bit.
Oof. Does he have like specific little tools for this job, or do I have to like use a hammer?
Well, when you say specific little tools, Jeff, remember
He's a big boy.
you're a thief.
Okay. Do I have a little hammer?
Wait, I can make the argument that you do in your thieves tool.
Yeah, in my thieves tools, I got a little like cute like little mallet.
Okay.
Like a gentle mallet. I want to gently mallet it in there.
Okay. What would have been the bonus if you had used your thieves tools?
That's a thing?
Yeah. So whatever your bonus is for sleight of hand, like add that.
Or a +5.
Okay. So with a +5, you managed to hammer the cap in, and Jelsa goes, "Oh,
I'm having quite the morning.
whoa, wow, man, that was great. You'd make a great future as a dentist barber."
That's what I'm aiming for. I put my hand up to high five Jelson.
He high fives you, and it's a very loving high five, but you feel like it could have dislocated your arm.
Yeah.
He is obscenely strong.
Oh, big boy.
But he thanks you, and he walks past. He's like, "Bathroom's all yours, Hemlock. Do.
I love that guy.
And you look at yourself in the mirror real quick, and yeah, I mean, like, you don't know what you were so concerned about. You are quite dapper. So is there anything else you want to do before you head off to school?
I mean, just drain the snake and go.
Wow.
Roll.
Make a dexterity roll to unbutton your pants.
13.
So you have a minor problem. No, you're fine. Okay, so you head off to school. Now, it is through the happenstance of me, the dungeon master, ruler of your fates, that your path to school to Spring Willow, it all sort of coincides, which is something that you all sort of knew about each other. You have not, like, you guys are acquaintances right now. You've gone to the same school for a couple of years. As this happens, you recognize each other. You've seen each other in the yearbooks, that sort of thing. You happen to be walking to school on the same path. Do you do anything to each other when you see each other? It's nothing like you guys don't really know each other yet. Or no, you're not really friends. You're like school acquaintances. I don't even imagine you're walking at the same pace. But do you like say anything when you see each other as you're walking?
I give a cool nod.
I stare straight ahead.
I do finger
I
guns.
cry on the inside.
So I imagine what happens. So if I'm reading that scene correctly, like, because you're basically coming at 3 different crossroads to meet up in the same path. Like Hemlock gets there first and sees Wren and finger guns, and he's like, ha. And then Saltimus just like walks right between you, like nose up, not even paying attention.
Yeah.
Like,
And then as that happens, like Genuine, who no one can see, is just like. But yeah, you're walking to school, and the walk to school it's pretty nice. Like the path for that from the north side of town down to where Spring Willow is, it goes by like a river. And part of the river is like built up because they use it to drain water into the town. So like it's actually pretty scenic. People come, there's like old people fishing and like people exercising and stuff. And as you pass through a very particular bend of the school, you see something pretty unusual for especially a first day, but something you don't usually see. You see Doan. Doan, he's an elven boy who is in your class, and he has very messy black hair, and he's arguing with a human boy who you don't recognize from your school. Like you don't know, he might be in a different grade or something.
Is he wearing Spring Willow stuff?
He is wearing Spring Willow uniform. He's also wearing a red bandana on his head. Which clashes pretty severely with the Spring Willow uniform.
Sweep the leg.
And he is, and all three of you know this because you're up on the gossip of your school. Like he's probably part of the Reds. And Doan is like a pretty cool guy, so you're not sure why he's doing this. And in fact, like, so here's the thing, in the part of the backstories that you didn't fill out, that I left kind of vague, you all know Doan and you kind of like him. He's kind of like a nice dude. So I just like, for funsies,
What's happening?
Squish is messing with like your microphone and it's making little poppy noises. Or actually, I think it's because you're holding the cord. It's okay.
I do it too.
Yeah, it's okay. That's why I have the headphones on, because I want to make sure everything goes good. Just give me just a quick little thing. Like, how do you think you know Doan? Like, what was a cool thing that happened between you and Doan at some point?
I think we had a class together.
Yeah,
And we just hit it off.
just bros,
Yeah.
just every day. He was like, "Oh, Wren."
But it's just like a one class acquaintance. You know what I mean? You have like the one.
Like if you need a partner, like
Yeah.
he's your guy.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I like. What was the class?
What was the class?
Yeah.
That's potions.
Potion.
Potions. No, I don't know.
Potions is fine.
Okay,
We would call that chemistry.
chemistry. I'm sorry. I keep thinking about.
Or
Harry
I guess it would be
Potter. There's no
alchemy,
reason.
but yeah,
Alchemy.
potions.
I mean, are all the classes fantasy based or are they still normal classes?
Well, you guys aren't going to school to be adventurers. You're just going to school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like that's just how this.
Do they make us?
Geometry too?
Do we have to salute the flag every day at this school?
Hemlock? How do you know Dan?
Our lockers are next to each other.
Really?
Yeah.
For all the 4 years?
Yeah. I mean, that's usually what happens is you have the same locker, at least with the schools that I went to. So I don't know if it's the same as Spring Willow, but
We'll say it is.
yeah. So we like our first year, we had the same locker, but we were first newbies. So we didn't really talk, but we just noticed each other. And then when we would go to our lockers, I noticed probably maybe like our sophomore year that he had some drawings that he had done in there of a particular fictional character that I enjoy that gets published in the local zines.
Really?
Yeah.
local zine.
He's like a little wannabe kind of artist, and it's his take on some fictional writing that's been.
He's a really good drawer.
Yeah, he's a good drawer.
Of fantasy Naruto.
Fantasy Naruto. And I think that's like, and I'm like a little. I grew out of it a little bit, but yeah, still I'm like, oh, my dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're not as taken by his skill, but you're like, oh, he's a good drawer.
He was like, oh, you like some cool like stuff. He's like a quiet kid, so I think that started. We talk based on that, but we still are just sort of like acquaintances.
All right, and against all odds, Old Salty.
Oh, salty.
Doan is someone you actually like.
Yes.
So why do you like Doan?
I like Doan because I was in fantasy choir. And
It can just be choir, but yes, fantasy choir.
and I had like a big solo audition, right? Coming up. And I was like really, really into this because I wanted to be like the diva, right? And so I was going up for my audition and
Give us a taste of that voice right now.
I was going up for my
Only
audition.
I can command people to do that. Make a charisma saving throw and give us a taste of my voice right now. No, it's fine. You don't have to.
And just as soon as I open my mouth,
It's sweet and dulcet.
Genuine came running on up, and he went ahead and just like raked his claws through my hair, and then kind of on in my shoulders a little bit. So I screamed, right, because that's terrifying and also very painful. And everybody in the entire choir laughed at me. They were howling. They were rolling in the aisle.
I had the vapors.
The vapors, y'all.
Fantasy vapors.
Fantasy vapors.
This is Danielle's only character voice.
How dare you?
She could have done the Skeksis voice.
I could. I'll do Skeksis
Please
if
don't.
you keep it up, and I'll do.
Okay,
Skeksis.
that's fine. Yeah, Southern Dan Bell's just fine.
That's what I fucking thought. And then Doan, he came on up from out in the wings. He was gonna go next, and he went ahead and he like helped me out. He like fixed my hair, and then he made a joke that made everybody laugh, and they were laughing at him then and not at me. And so I kind of like him.
That's a really sweet story.
Yeah, good on Doan. Good on Doan.
I know.
Well, that's,
like Doan.
Those are the
Doan-
thoughts in your head as you see Doan like getting really mad at this red kid, and in fact, it looks like there might be a physical altercation brewing. What do you guys want to do?
Can we help him out?
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I want to like.
How do you? So, what do you want to do?
So
They say. I mean, I understand you want to help him out, but you got to tell me like what it is you're doing.
Oh, I see it.
I mean, I want to like walk up to Doan and do that thing where like, you know, you're like, hey, Doan, buddy, what's going on, man? What's crack? Like try to like break the whatever the mood that's happening and try and like shake up whatever altercations going on.
Lighten the mood.
Light-
Yeah, just like
Did someone say comic relief?
yeah,
right.
and I'm like,
Pants is in.
All right, so is that what you guys are gonna do, like as a unit?
No.
All right, so as you get okay, you guys are just gonna tell me what happens, but as you all three are walking closer to Doan, Hemlock, you're because of how things broke down when you guys were walking, you're like in the lead. So you get there first. So what's the first thing you do when you get to Doan?
are we coming from like behind him? So like the guy in red.
It's sort of like imagine like it's a little bit off the path. It's just far enough away that most people, when they saw this argument, they kind of like looked down and kept walking.
okay.
So yeah,
It's
so
tense.
yeah.
Okay.
Oof. Okay. I mean, I want to walk slowly toward. Is it possible to like take a few steps and listen into the conversation a bit before making an action?
Sure.
I'd like to do that. Like I want to still like make a slow motion towards them, but also like really keeping my ears open as to what they're actually saying before I actually take an action.
Okay. I'll say you all are sort of like approaching a little bit slowly. As you get closer, it's kind of hard to hear because he is yelling, but it's like that kind of like crazy yelling. And he's trying to talk over the red, who's also yelling. But the things you pick out is like the reds have been picking on some like littler kids. That's what you gather. And they've been doing it in such a way that's like you get the sense, like he actually says like someone could have been killed.
Oh.
And that's what you hear.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
I know what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna like slow down a little bit as I'm passing, and I'm gonna cast infestation on the red.
Going right into that.
That's what I was wondering.
All right,
Well, can I
what
put
is
somebody-
what does infestation do?
Infestation, you cause a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites to appear momentarily on one creature you can see within range.
What does it do?
The target must succeed on the Constitution saving throw, or it takes 1d6 poison damage and moves 5 feet in a random direction.
So you're going in hot.
All right, so
I'll give up.
the two of you. So here's the scene now. Is like the two of you are kind of walking close, and you're taking notice of this altercation happening. And Salt, who is also taking notice, but like not paying it as much mind, just walks by and like not even paying attention, is just like casts infestation on this red. Let's see what goes down.
Now, do you need to explain the reds at all?
The Reds are a schoolyard gang who are like normally they'd be like not a big deal, but these ones are like weirdly organized, and a lot of kids are like in the, like your school's pretty big, and a lot of like seniors and juniors are in it, and a lot of people, like older kids. Like some people think it might be like this is all just general knowledge you have from like rumor.
My dad's in it. It's weird.
Well, no, it's new.
It's where my parents met.
And the prevailing rumor is that the Reds are how people join like really
gangs.
like bad stuff. He does not pass that role.
Wow.
And he's yelling and he's like, "You're not gonna do it!" Oh God! Ah! And he scratches like this, and he like runs into the river. He takes
the way that my
5
character
points
laughs.
of damage. So those bugs fucked him right up.
He's just a schoolboy. He has no armor.
He certainly doesn't. So Doan is like very relieved. He sees this guy running there. He's like, "Idiot." And then he turns to you guys and he sees you. He's like, "Oh, Wren, Hemlock, good to see you guys." He doesn't see Saltimus because Saltimus was just walking off.
Yep.
Just cast
Kept
and
walking.
run.
Unsung hero.
Doing good deeds. Sorry, did you guys see that?
Yeah, what was that about?
Yeah, my dude. What's going on?
Those damn Reds. Do you know what they've been doing? All summer they've been messing with kids, dragging them out to the potter's field and just leaving them there.
The Potter's Field where they bury unmarked graves? Okay.
Oh, that's messed up. Jojo shook his head yes,
Yeah.
but you could not see.
It was like 2 days ago, my sister was coming home from cram school. They grabbed her book bag and just threw it in there. She was looking around for like a couple of hours and thought she saw something, which maybe she did. I don't know. We don't go into the potter's field because it's scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, glad to see you guys.
Yeah.
And as soon as he says that, you hear the bell ring.
Oh no.
And he's like,
Nah.
"Oh, snap. Well, let's get to school." And then Doan raises up his hand and it glows with white light and you all feel empowered enough to run.
When I wake up in the morning and
So Doan has just blessed you so you can run super fast.
Oh, what a nice
it's
guy.
all right because I'm saved by the bell.
Pretty much. Much like the greatest of speedsters, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Lord
we can
save
put it in
me.
the hashtags now.
The three of you like bolt off to school. But Salt, you do not.
Yes.
Salt, you're just kind of walking. And as you're walking, Genuine goes like, "Why don't we go and finish that guy?
Oh wow.
He's already in the water."
Kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Damn it.
Then he walks behind a tree. And then as you're walking a little more, he pops up from behind a fence. He was like, "Or am I?" I am. And then he walks right back behind the fence and is gone
I'm
again.
like, no, but you have a good thought. I'm going to turn around.
I like Genuine.
Me too.
It's fun. All right.
Somebody just
I'm going to turn around and I'm going to,
What are you going to do?
assuming that I don't have to get into the water to do this, I'm going to help the lad out.
Okay. You walk back to the edge of the water and you see the Red. He's like thrashing about. He's not in any danger of drowning or anything, but if you want to help him up, this would be a dexterity check because I imagine you're trying to pull him out without like falling in yourself.
Right. 3.
this is going to be quite comical.
I run back just to see.
In the effort to try and help this Red who you blasted with energy, he grabs you.
You don't know the end game.
He grabs your wrist, pulls you, and you were just in the stream now. And he pulls himself up and he's just like, "Oh, thanks, lady." And he just walks away while you are just in the water, like all fucked up. And when you pop your head, you're not in danger of drowning or anything, but when you pop your head up, Genuine is on the stream, on the beach, and he's just laughing hysterically.
God damn it, Genuine.
What did I just say?
You little motherfucker.
Okay, cool. Well, you better get to school, huh? And then Genuine just starts walking towards school.
I don't know. Can I try something else?
What do you want to try?
I want to try to use command on the Red.
As soon as you try to cast the spell, Genuine was like, "Not right now." And
God damn
keeps
it.
going.
Oh my God.
Genuine, you're not fun.
So Danielle is a warlock, so her powers come from like a patron. like a deity.
A small dick.
Shut your mouth.
And for her patron is her powers are coming from Genuine. So he saw this and he was like, "Fuck
You
that."
little piece of shit.
I'm out of
Shut
here.
it off. He's like,
Yeah.
no, not
Also, I'm not
today.
going to let you burn a first level spell slot to fuck with somebody right now.
Come on. What else is school for? Why am I here?
Well, right
School
now,
sucks.
Home.
so let's set the scene. You guys make it to school just in time. Okay. So the final bell is ringing, and you two rush in first. You get to the large front doors. You run up the central staircase to the third floor, and you make it to class 3B. Most students are already at their seats now. Some are still milling about talking, waiting for the teacher to come in. There's a spot towards the front of the room, and there's a spot towards the middle of the room, and then there's a spot towards the rear. The spot at the middle of the room is right by a window. The spot towards the front is kind of by the door.
Window seat.
All
I'm
right.
gonna run to the window seat.
Did you want the window seat? I can make you guys fight for it.
What was the other seat?
The other seat is just at the back of the class next to some other kids.
I'll do that one.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Look,
So,
you can look disdainfully out the window. It's
I
cool.
play my record.
all right.
Toodle, toodle, toodle.
As soon as you sit at the door of the classroom, I'm going to deal with you in a minute. The classroom door opens, and in walks Professor Cowan, who you guys know from just being at school on time. She is like a middle-aged elven woman, which is probably around 200 years old, and she is known for being very strict and very hard to impress. She's wearing a button up a business suit. She looks real profesh.
Okay.
And she has middle of the back blonde hair that's straight. And she walks in and she eyes all of you really quickly, and then she just stands at the front desk and she goes, "Class president, where are you?" And a human girl pops up and she's like, "I'm right here, ma'am." And that's Kian. Kian's the class president. She's regarded as a teacher's pet.
Oh my gosh.
She says, "Lead our students in the Spring Willow Pledge." And she motions. And then,
God.
as soon as she
You
says
did
that,
this.
I
God damn
did.
it.
You did this.
Yes.
Kian motions for everyone to stand up.
You fucker.
If Kim were here, she'd have some things to say.
What do? You're still not in the room.
I was going to say, I don't think I'm in the room.
What do you
What
do?
are we doing? I missed it.
So Kian,
I was reading.
Kian
this.
has
Sorry.
commanded all of you to stand up and make a pledge.
Oh, like
Pledge
the
of
Pledge of
Allegiance.
Allegiance
Pretty
kind
much.
of stuff?
Yeah. So
Oh my
what do you do? You're now in the territory of school events. So depending on what you do, things might happen.
I'm going to pull out my lute and play a song to go with the anthem.
Oh,
Try and
wow.
impress teacher.
Yeah.
Here's
yeah.
what I pictured when you described this teacher. Have you seen Monsters University?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm thinking of the teacher that's a hard ass at Monsters University,
I like that.
and I really want to date this teacher.
Okay.
God.
So
That ain't happening. I'm not allowing it.
I stand up
He's going to try.
and I mouth the words, but I do not say them.
Oh my gosh. It's like I
Make
played
a okay. So make a charisma check.
6 plus.
Maybe persuasion or deception.
I have no persuasion. Deception plus 2, so I have 8.
She sees that you're Cowan sees that you're fucking around, and she goes, "Mr. Jones,
Oh no.
everyone start over." So if you have a pen, please write down on your character sheet that you have lost 1 popularity.
No. Ha, joke's on you. I didn't have any to begin with.
You had 5. Wren, you said you wanted to play your lute along with the pledge.
Yeah.
It's not a song per se, but you can do that. Make a performance roll.
With this one?
Yes.
Okay. 10. Oh, I got it. Plus 5.
Oh, so you got a 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. With a 15, even though it's not a song, you're so good at fucking playing the lute that it's people are feeling
Hell yeah.
kind of into it.
Fantasy Guitar Center
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And everyone kind of really likes it, and because of that, you can take +1 popularity.
Well, Jeff not going to like that.
You got we need pens. Do we have pens?
We do not have pens in this house because we do.
I have one in my
No, we do.
purse. That was a weird laugh I just did.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Just write it anywhere. You can write it where it says treasure.
Treasure. I love that I could just whip out. I got
Loot.
those magic looty fingers.
It is pretty great. Yeah, so for our game, like that's a system that we have in place that like, as you do stuff in school that like impresses other kids or the teachers or just is a benefit of some kind, you can you gain a resource and then you'll be able to use that resource later. So now you guys, so you have an extra popularity than what you started with, and Jeff
the
lost.
teacher or just the student?
Just the students. I mean, like it's all. Remember, like the resources are like an abstraction. So
Okay.
it's like it's not literally you're going to spend the fact that they were impressed by you. It's like in general, you're like this popular.
Okay,
You're 6
sweet.
popular.
I'm 4 popular.
You certainly are.
Plus one. Oh, now.
Yeah.
And so like so
Once I start selling these kids some weed, I'll get way more popular.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fantasy weed. I mean,
Weed.
That is
Weed.
what it is.
so there the pledge happens with the strumming of the lute, and Kian leads everybody, and she's like, I solemnly pledge I will do right and fair with those in my classes, and everyone follows. And she says, I will be kind and courteous to those I meet outside in the world, and everyone follows. And she says, and I will serve Springwellow or beyond with honor and integrity, and everyone follows. And then everyone sits down, and as soon as they sit down and everyone is settled, Salt, you arrive at the classroom and you pull open the door and you are just a fucking mess. Everyone is staring at you. In fact, I want you to make a charisma
Oh,
check
Jesus
to
Christ.
see
This is so much like high school. 7.
what's your plus charisma.
Charisma. My charisma is +3.
That's not going to do it, baby bear.
oh no.
As soon as you open the door, like you're normally very composed. In fact, as far as you're concerned, like this is probably one of the worst days you've ever had thus far. Everyone stares at you and like there's some small tittering laughter, and then
I'm writing down names.
people are just
Writing
like,
down fucking
like
names.
starting to kind of laugh. Professor Cowan looks at you and she goes, Ms. Maximus, you are late. Take a seat. And she just points to like the last empty chair, which is right at the front.
Oof.
And as you walk in, you see that a student a little bit like halfway back is motioning you, like waving. And it's your friend Fizzle.
Fizzle.
Yeah, she's trying to gather your attention. I actually don't know Fizzle. He's like, hey, Salty, I'm right here. And then
Fizzle's me in high school.
Colin looks like,
Over here.
Fizzle, eyes forward. And there's like a kid sitting next to Fizzle.
Yeah.
Who's sitting in the chair like right next. What do you want to do?
Move, peasant.
You're going to need to make a charisma check with
I'm good at these.
With disadvantage. Oh, snap.
You got to roll twice.
I'm really good at these.
We're going to see.
Well, it just rolled off the thing. So,
7.
well,
You're not going to do it.
I'm good at these. I got 15.
That 15 would have done it. if it
Yeah,
had been
but the
first and
7,
second. No. So you took a 10. So a guy looked up at you and was just like, no.
I take
And
out my
beca-
notebook and I write down his name.
Well, that's good. You should also take out a pen and write down that you've lost 1 popularity.
oh no.
This
I don't
happenstance.
think I'm going to have much by the end.
Fantasy high
you have
school
4.
sucks for me and Danielle. We're just as popular as we were in real high school.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I don't know what
but
you guys
Wren
are
is
talking
fucking
about.
nailing it.
Yeah. Everyone loves a bard.
Yeah, everyone.
Play
has
Wonderwall.
Oh my god.
that.
I want to get a shirt that says that. Everyone loves a bar.
That's good. For sure, Jojo, buy it.
That sounds like a plan. So you all sit down. You sit down at the front, and you're like, I imagine you're still like wringing out your hair even a little bit because you were in the river.
I'm also very angry.
Genuine is like sitting on like he's sitting on the teacher's desk, but no one notices him except you, and he's just like sleeping. He's just staying nearby because he wants to keep an eye on things.
Somebody make fan art of Genuine, please.
Please.
Great.
Busy, please.
Kian sits back down. I just realized it's Kian and Cowan. That was a mistake on my part.
Oh, I thought that was deliberate. And Doan?
And Kel?
Those are just names I like. Doan, by the way, is not in your class.
Oh.
He's in a different class.
But us three are in this class.
Yes, you three are in this class.
Is this block scheduling?
Kind of.
Oh, God, a 3-hour class. No.
Professor Cowan eyes every one of the students, and then she walks up to the board and writes down in like very elegant handwriting for chalk. She writes down your future, and she turns back to all of you, and she was like, "Think about it." It's your last year here at Spring Willow. And as your last year, you have to be thinking about what lies beyond. And she points to some random kid. You, what are you going to do on the last day of school? I'm going to go
Get laid.
visit Sirocco. Not good enough. And she points to someone else. And she's like, you, what are you going to do? And he's like very chilled out. And he's like, I'm going to move to the big city and start a band.
I waved to him. I'm like, hey, dude, we should talk.
And she's like, pathetic. And then she points to...
Interesting.
She points to you, Hemlock.
Oh, no.
She goes, Mr. Jones, what do you plan to do aside from screw up the pledge?
You know, my job is to get better at the pledge, first of all. And,
Are you going to tell each other fairy tales, Mr. Jones?
I'm sorry. What's going on?
Counting crows? Nothing? Nobody? Jesus Christ. Man.
Not everyone's a Counting Crows fan, Danielle.
Nobody was alive in the 90s, apparently.
Yeah, but also no one was a Counting Crows fan then either. Anyways.
What a jerk.
You know, I've given it some thought, and I'm not entirely sure, so I think I'm just gonna, I don't know, school's working out pretty well. You know, maybe I'll become a teacher here.
I need you to make a deception check right fucking now.
17.
Take +1 grades.
Whoa.
Take +1 grades for that.
Kiss ass.
Professor Collins looks at you and kind of like wryly smiles and is like, at least someone has a plan. Your first assignment of the year is we're going to be going over the history of famous people from Spring Willow. You might hear some very impressive names, but know this. They were nobodies when they were in your chairs and only became great after they left these halls.
This is a
Take out your books and turn to page 15.
I'm so motivated.
What's the book that we're paid for?
Don't worry about it. You're not really in school. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Guys, I didn't buy books before school. Shit.
You know what's really great is this whole time we've just been playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
Well, fuck me.
So your day proceeds like pretty normally for the first day, aside from Professor Collins. She's all business. Most of the other teachers who came in, they were pretty chilled out. The rhetoric teacher came in, he was pretty chilled out. They are all just like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a great first year.
We're all chilled out.
We've all been drinking some Kool-Aid.
And it is now lunchtime.
Yay.
It's lunchtime.
Recess.
This is probably gonna.
Time to play on the
I hope
jungle
we have time to
jams.
finish this encounter.
I'm a
Not recess
boy.
like lunch. So here's the thing. Like Spring Willow Academy doesn't have like a lunch room. Most students typically bring their lunches. There's like vendors out front where if you want to buy something, you can.
Can we hunt for our lunch?
No.
Okay.
So there's no like lunchroom. However, the way the school is laid out, there's the roof is like a big open space. I modeled this after a Japanese school. So the roof is like
It was not obvious at all.
I know. Well, it's a cool design for like adventures.
It
It's
is
very
pretty cool.
regimented.
The cherry blossoms
They are-
cascaded over Spring Willow Tide.
I'm going to delete the Spring Willow Cherry Blossom Festival. No, but you go up to the like most students like they eat like in the hallways, possibly in a different classroom. But most students like go hang out on the roof
Oh.
to eat their lunch.
Dude, I want to go to
chill
the
out.
school. This sounds cool.
Yeah,
Not bad.
doing my best. And also, you guys don't have to sit through like class and shit. You just have to show
Yeah.
up to the important things.
Time to go to the quad and do some acoustic
That's
guitar songs.
I know.
Easy, stay in your lane.
So So where we can just like you still have your pickle jar. Like we can assume that most of you brought your lunches, or that you guys brought your lunches
I just
today.
brought
Maybe you
pickles.
I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do you go and eat on the roof, or do you eat like elsewhere?
I'm gonna eat on the roof where the cool kids go.
Okay.
I would eat sitting down in front of my locker.
Okay. So
I know those kids.
So you're on the third floor, so your locker is like it's not near like there's so the staircase in the center staircase goes all the way up to the roof. So your locker is like a little bit off from that. So like you could get to the roof if you wanted, but you're like making a cool guy decision to like not be with everyone.
Well, in my head, I kind of I always thought that maybe like Doan like didn't go to the roof when he was like starting, so he would sit at his locker.
Oh sure.
So I would sit there too. We would hang out at lunch on
Okay. Okay. I like that. So you're sitting by your locker. Salt, I will assume that in the intervening time you managed to get this whole being covered with water situation settled.
Yes. I have spare clothes.
You're so popular, you made it work. You know, everyone wants to be covered in
I
water.
imagine Salt has like a giant locker that has like a wardrobe in it.
Yeah.
But where are you going to go eat lunch today?
I ate lunch in the library researching the great warlocks of history.
Okay, so you're going to go to the library?
Does that work out for your plan?
It's going to.
The look on JoJo's face when Danielle said that was just utter disappointment.
No. It does because you guys don't know where anything is. It's a rooftop library.
The library's on the roof, y'all. So is my locker.
I can deal with this. So we'll resolve these scenes in order.
It's like he like rolled to sit in the library.
So-
It has to be a nat 20.
Library's closed first day. All right, so Wren, you go up to the roof.
Yes.
And there's a good amount of kids up here. And they're all like in different spots hanging out. Is there anyone you're trying to sit with in particular, or just like march in your own parade like Pepper
I'm just
Ann?
gonna stick to my you watched the intro.
I watched the intro.
You're good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I see a table, and I'm just like, let them come to me. I'll charm them over.
Like cats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
So
like
you
that.
you sit down and you exude like some pretty chill vibes.
Yo, you want to play some
Make-
hacky sack, some fantasy hacky sack? I'm sorry, Danielle. What was that?
Facky sack.
Hacky sack.
That's terrible. In fact, -10 popularity.
That's fair. That's fair.
No. Is there an opportunity? There's no opportunity here. You're just kind of eating lunch by yourself. It's fine.
Okay. Wait,
what's
so
the
no
lunch-
one comes? No one comes over?
Well, if they do, it's not like the power of your personality
Okay.
did that. There's just like, oh, hey, Wren, can we sit here? And you can say yes or no, but it's just like, people are.
I let them all come in. I let them all come join.
We'll go now to Hemlock. Hemlock, you are sitting by your locker, and you see Doan walking up the stairs, and he does not have his lunch bag.
Oh, dude.
And he looks furious. He looks really, really mad. And he sees you and he's like, oh, hey, Hemlock, could you move, please? And he's like, because you're kind of sitting in front of the locker, he like wants you to just move out of the way. Real quick.
I move. Yeah.
All right.
I scoot my little butt over.
You scoot your little butt over. He unlocks his locker and he just pops it open. And inside the locker is just to establish the reality that we're in, because like I said, you guys aren't going to school to be adventurers. But there is like PE in this school. And for PE, you do like some training, like with fighting, like that's like sports. So he's a cleric. So he pops it open and he has like a war hammer.
Ooh.
Sick.
He's allowed to have it. It's like his like a fencing sword.
I just have
what
rollerblades in my locker.
That's sad.
And
Minus
true.
10 popularity.
Blades anymore.
No one.
Doan pops open his locker and he pulls out fairly sizable warhammer and he holds his hand over the top of it like this, which no one can see. This is an audio medium, but he holds his hand up like this and the hammer kind of starts to glow a little bit, but like, and normally like from earlier you saw like when he casts spells, it's like comforting. When he did this, it looked like a little bit spooky, like creepy, spooky. and he's just like, I'm gonna make him pay, and then he shuts his locker.
Oh, this is turning into a PSA thing for school.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't. This is gonna work out just fine. Don't worry. What do you do?
Well, I'm like, hey, Doan, what's going on, dude?
Oh, I thought you said I can't eat Doan.
No.
I was like, what?
Like, hey, I don't see you at the lunch. Do you want to share what I got going on? Are you okay, dude?
Listen, you know that Red from earlier?
Yes.
So he got a bunch of his friends, and they're coming here right now.
Here to like the locker here?
Well, no, here in general, the school. Look, I got to go take care of this.
Okay, wait. Hold on, my dude. What do you mean by take care of it?
You know, scare him off.
How?
I'm a cleric, bro. And then he goes like this. Make a wisdom saving throw.
16.
So he's done this to you a lot, like as a goof. He casts.
We're always goofing.
He is a goofster. He casts a spell called Thaumaturgy. And what that spell does is it causes like a horror effect to appear nearby. That's the easiest way to describe it, like a door slamming or a terrifying laugh or something.
A jump scare.
Yeah. It's he casts jump scare
Nice.
behind you.
Nice.
Freddy Fazbear pops up. Fantasy Freddy Fazbear.
And he sees that you're like, so he makes, that's what he does. Like basically he makes your locker fly open and like a blah. But you're like totally not disturbed by this. And
It's year 4. Come on.
Are you like the guy in the internet video who just turns and punches the thing?
Yeah, I just
that
punch
like
it.
jumps out.
Yeah. I just like stop it. Just, yeah.
yeah, it's like, you don't understand, man. These kids are a terror. They've been messing with everybody at this school.
Well, where are they coming for you or are they just coming to the school?
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
I don't know math.
Make a roll to see if you know math. No.
If you were real life, it'd be a 1. Well, what are you planning on doing?
Look,
I know you just scared me with the locker or tried to.
yes, look, you know as well as I do they're cowards. They're going to come in here, they're going to make a bunch of noise, and then we're just going to scare them off.
Well, let's get some more people, man. Let's make it so that they don't even want to come mess with anybody.
All right.
Let's go get some folks off the roof.
All right.
Yeah, let's raise the roof.
All right. So here's okay.
That is cool when you say
So
rough.
when Doan hears that, he's very relieved. He's like, all right, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And so he starts going up the stairs.
Strength in numbers, my dude.
Strength in numbers. You're right. That's a good advice. I hope they don't follow that. Wren, you see this. You see Doan come up, and he's loaded for bear. Like he looks like he's ready for like.
Is he
some
coming
shit
in
to go
half
down.
cocked?
He's calmed down a little bit, mostly because he saw like his little trick with Hemlock didn't work.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be like, I'm worried. He's obviously like, you can just tell he's worried. But, like,
I
it's fine.
gotcha.
What do you want to do?
I want to go help him. Go help him out with these bullies.
Okay, I'll say that you see the situation and he like relays all that information, what's happening, that the bullies are coming.
Do you have like a Pied Piper spell that you can get everyone to help?
I have.
So
I don't know.
So here's a thing that bards can do. You have a thing called bardic inspiration, and what that is once per long rest, which I'll tell you when we hit a long rest, or 3 times per long rest, you can give someone a d6, and they can roll that as well as a d20, and it adds to their roll.
Okay.
So like if I roll a 10 and the d6 is a 6, then I get a 16 just from the roll. The idea is like you play a song or tell a story, or that they hear exactly what they need to hear in order to succeed.
Okay.
So you'll need to like tell
So
me
I'm
what
gonna
that
buff
is.
him up.
Yeah.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Okay, so he explains the situation and like make a charisma saving throw.
Would that be
charisma check.
Would that be drowning moat?
19.
So you're able to convince.
Oof.
Wow. You convince every kid on this roof.
I'm telling you.
Seriously, Jesus Christ.
In fact, what do you say to these kids to get them to like band together to help Doan?
Rousing speech time.
I know.
As the bard,
I
that's your
start
job.
singing the song "Rise Up" from Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh wait, can I say that?
Yeah.
Fantasy Hamilton.
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 Yes.
I'm like, rise up. Yeah,
Yeah, rise up.
And then
La, la,
I do
la,
a
la, la.
wicked solo. Everyone's just like, ah.
And someone in the corner is like, she's right. I am going to rise up. And then he gets up. And well, that's not good because it's your thing's going to be next. Producer Dan Bell.
I gotta pee.
All right.
I have to roll for potty break.
You hit a 1, pee your pants.
You can go ahead and
Ouch.
yeah, go ahead and go again. And
Oh
go
wait, I want to
tinkle.
see what happens.
Okay, so here's what happens. So you've rallied because like they're not whipped into a frenzy, say, but they're like, okay, like
They're here for.
if they're fucking with Doan, they're fucking with all of us.
Yes.
So that's their attitude.
They all have
Now,
the energy of an MMA fighter about to go in the ring.
So here's what happens next. You are in the library.
All this is happening. You're just like, la, la, la.
Well, so as you're in the library, you're just like going through the stacks, and Genuine is doing this thing that he loves to do, where whenever you pull a book off the shelf, he's like right behind it. He loves it. It's one of his favorite things. And as you pull off this next book, he's like, it's doesn't do anyone any good if you just hide in the library when all the kids are up there.
That's so genuine.
I feel like Genuine's making your blood pressure go way too high for a teenager.
He goes like, he's basically like, I know you're embarrassed right now, but chin up. You're going to be way more embarrassed before the end of the day, but you can't be embarrassed in here. Or can you?
So help me, genuine.
Yeah.
Do not fuck with me right now.
And then you hear someone nearby be like, shh.
Because they can't hear Genuine. They only. It's like silence in the library, and all of a sudden you hear this
So
dulcet
help me,
southern
Genuine.
tone. So help me, Genuine. Shit.
Okay.
I poke my head around the shelf and I give that person a stink eye.
As you do so, you see like the librarian. It's like it's an older guy, kind of heavy set. He's just like it's like an older he has like a Santa vibe about him.
Santa library.
Well, he's wearing red. Like he's wearing this bright red cloak. And like he's responsible for all the stacks, and he's like, Ms. Maximus, you know how much I like your company, but please. And then Genuine appears behind him, and he's like, "That's right, Salty. Shut it." He looks away.
I look really evilly at something right over the librarian's shoulder.
Now, I want you to make a perception check.
Okay. 11.
What's your perception score?
Perception. Oh, +4.
Oh, perfect.
Wow.
You are very perceptive.
Yeah.
So as soon as you kind of get settled a little more in the library, you put your books down. So the door to the library is open, and it leads out to like it's on the first floor where the library is, and the door is like right by the front door. And you see a bunch of kids like running past the library door, and they're running up the stairs, and they seem like pretty nervous. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna go ahead and like see if they're running from something.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Bye.
Not good at this. 13.
So when you peek out of the library to see like what they're running from, you are face to face with a tiefling boy who is about 20 years old.
Oh, man.
He's a big kid.
Yeah, you can just tell. And the reason why you can
You
tell
look 20.
is because you know who this person is.
Oh,
His name is
intrigue.
His name is Gil. And he is widely regarded as the leader of the Reds. And he's wearing like a red. So tieflings are like part demon for Emma's benefit because she doesn't know too much about them. Like they're descended from demons.
Do they look like Grey Eye, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, then yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He doesn't have cloven. Well, actually, he does. He has cloven feet, and he's wearing like a long cloak. like a long red cloak, and he has like a red bandana over like one of his horns is curved like a ram's horn, and the other one's cut off.
Cool.
And the cut off one has a bandana over
A
it.
shaving accident is what happened.
And aside from the fact that he has like a sword on him, he also has a set of bagpipes that he's just kind of
Rival
like
bard.
we'll see. And he sees you, Saltimus, and he's like, hello there. And then someone from behind is like, that's the one, boss. Oh, is it? Well, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, and not in an aggressive way. He's like, thank you for helping young Bess out. He was a little clumsy today. We appreciate it heavily. Come on, boys.
I shrug off his hand and I step aside.
And so you see Gil and the rest of the Reds. It's about 10 people. Some of them are students, and some of them definitely aren't.
Some of them are junior college students.
Oh, God.
Certainly are.
I owe them
They have
money.
no business there. And they are marching up the stairs. What do you do?
Teachers at this school? What the hell?
I know.
Teacher!
All right. So what do you do?
So I'm going to pretend as though I'm standing aside, but what I'm really doing is casting command on what's his name, 20-year-old boy.
Okay. Make a how does command work?
Command is you speak a one-word command to a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn.
Poop.
All right. What is your spell save?
13. Ow.
Okay. Not going to do it, my friend.
Today is
Like, he
not
seems
your
to be some
day,
sort of
Salty.
boss character.
No, I did roll a 16.
Oh.
Jesus.
He feels that you cast that spell, and he like turns to you,
Uh-oh.
and he's like, "Shudder in the library," and then he starts walking back up the stairs.
I fucking think not.
Two of the Reds walk up to you, and they're like, "Get in." What do you do?
Oh, help me if you touch me or tell me what to do again. I will decimate your entire lineage from now until your great grandbabies will be running around. So step the fuck aside right now.
Genuine pops up from behind one of the kids and is like, "That was a good one.
There's a lot of greats.
I'm a fan of that one." Make a charisma check.
Are these like students, these ones that she's looking down?
Yeah, and add intimidation to it.
Okay.
That's what you're trying to do.
That was a 12, and intimidation is 5.
I was going to say, you should have a very high intimidation.
Yeah, they're like these are a little younger, these Reds, and they're like, and they just run. But the other ones are definitely going up the stairs, which brings us back to you two who are on the roof.
You two?
Yeah, you guys, Hemlock and
Hemlock Jones.
Hemlock and Red.
That son of a
And the
bitch.
entire student body.
You see Gil walk up first, and he kind of like eyes everything really quick, and he's like, "Huh." And then he gets up to the top, and and as he does, like 10 other of the Reds come up as well, and they see this like schoolyard situation happen. I think you're holding the mic cord again.
Am I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And as soon as they get up there, he eyes everyone, and he's like, "Doan, just come on out." And Doan starts to move forward. What do you do?
I move in sync with Doan.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be a we all stand on our desks like the Dead Poets
Is this
Society.
an I am Spartacus moment?
Yes.
Okay.
This is an "Oh Captain, my Captain" moment.
Yeah.
So you walk forward.
I'm Doan. I'm Doan.
He's Doan. And he just shoots him. All right. So you walk forward with Doan, and he was like, "Listen up, Gil. We're not afraid of you. Isn't that right, everybody?" And everyone's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom sent me to school without a lunch today.
"So I have the bloodlust." Doan's like, "We're not afraid of you, and we're not going to let you pick on us anymore." And he's like, "Well, about that." And Gil picks up his bagpipe,
Uh-oh.
and he starts to play it.
Oh, shit.
I want you guys to make a wisdom saving throw.
This is gonna be some dueling banjo shit right now.
Man,
I got a
18.
on.
You got a 1.
I got a 1.
Oh shit!
What'd you get, Jeff?
18.
Ran in deep shit.
All right.
Oh no.
So,
Looking at all the cards.
in fact, actually, it has to be this. So you weren't necessarily rolling for yourself, but
Oh.
your spell, like what you did to inspire everybody, was like it was a little bit bardic magic that you used, and now it's worn off.
Oh, no.
Ruh-roh.
So, like about half the kids run away.
They're not feeling the beat anymore.
So now, so as soon as that,
Gonna get you.
as soon as that happens, they're like, "Well, I'm out of here," and then they just like run off. So now there's like,
Half
you are,
as many.
yeah, you guys are now about equal. And then he pulls down the bagpipe and he's like, "You were saying?" And Doan's like, "Oh, whatever. So people are afraid of your stupid bagpipes." And he's like, "No one makes fun of Bessie." And like 2 of the Reds grab him because he's like about to pull his sword out. And he was like, "No killing, boss. No killing."
Is it called Bessie because it has like nipper, like udder, like nippers?
Say nippers.
Yeah, coming out
It
of it.
does have nippers,
Okay,
yes.
sweet.
Shit's getting ready to pop off. What are you guys going to do?
Can I use my hideous laughter?
Okay. Well, before you do, let me
like
let me
this.
set the scene
Okay.
really quick.
Sorry. Oof.
So just reset the scene so you guys are fully aware of the information. All the Reds are by the door. You guys are like everyone when they ran, they just kind of ran past them. So there's only one way up and one way out of the roof. The sides of the roof are like benches. There's like fencing as well, so no one can fall off on accident.
Good safety. OSHA would be happy.
There's also like lots of tables. Imagine like you ever been to like a park or something? You'll see like a picnic bench
Yeah.
with like a parasol on it. It's a lot of that
It's
action.
like where they have like the grills that are like coming out of the ground. Type.
And a lot of the kids, when they ran, they left their lunches there because they were just trying to get out of the situation. So what do you guys want to do?
I have 0 spells to work with. I don't know what you're doing over. I mean, what you got?
What do I got?
Yeah, what you
cooking?
got going
wanna
on
know
with
what I got
spells, y'all?
cooking?
Yeah.
I want to use the hideous laughter on Gil.
Oh, can we make his
'Cause we
people
made-
hate him? Or think that he's a joke?
Oh, well, that makes him like laugh and be all ridiculous things. I don't have to.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, dude.
How does Tasha's hideous laughter work?
Okay. Let me
Like
read.
this.
Hold on, I brought my readers. A creature of your choice that you can see within range perceives everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter if the spell affects it. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration.
Okay.
yeah.
What is your spell save?
13.
Okay. So you quickly and very quietly, like you've muted your lute, you kind of pluck some notes.
Finger picking. I'm finger picking it.
It was 13.
13.
So
Don't do it.
Gil
Don't.
starts
I've had
laughing.
such a good day. Wait, what happened?
Gil starts laughing
Oh,
like uncontrollably. He's just like and all the Reds are like
He's starting
he's going like this to everybody. And then he walks over to like one of the tables to like steady himself. And he puts his hand on the table right next to someone's lunch. And then he like his arm convulses a little bit as he's trying to catch himself laughing. And this plate covered in like a very nice and comfortable stew goes flying.
Yeah.
And I want Hemlock to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
No.
You're gonna get burned by the
on
stew?
Jones.
11.
Plus.
Dex. My dex?
Let's do acrobatics.
Plus 3, so 14.
Okay, so you kind of like matrix out of the way of this.
Minestrone.
And it hits a kid behind him.
Oh, no.
And that kid, well, it doesn't hurt him. He's just covered in soup now.
Just scarred for life.
But he pulls the soup down his eyes, and then he yells, "Food fight!" Let's roll some initiative, boys.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he saying there's food here?
Am I rolling?
Now I know. I got a 3.
Got an 11.
Are you? Is Danielle rolling an ish?
Yes.
I got 17.
Okay. So Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna have to.
There's a lot of NPCs on this route.
There's a lot of NPCs.
I didn't know if I could start the food fight,
Right?
But I'm like, you made it a point to be like, the
food is there.
everywhere.
My next thought was I was actually thinking of somehow like sleight of handing a banana peel.
You're not obviously gonna fight all of the Reds, but like everyone is going ham on each other, and the whole time this is happening,
It's like high schoolers, like kids, like
pretty much.
Feeling
And the whole time this is happening, like Gil is sitting at a bench just
laughing.
cackling, just laughing hysterically.
what did you roll for that he's still rolling?
Well, no, that's just how Tasha's
Yeah.
laughter
Yeah.
works.
Wow.
You just
Yeah.
can't stop laughing. So the first Red, having heard the word food fight, reaches over and grabs like an orange, and he just chucks it
Ow.
right at
Foul
Hemlock.
play.
Yeah.
Peel it first.
And he gets a nat 20.
Oh, fuck.
Shit, he takes
What
your
does
head
that
off.
mean?
We get a
You're
fucking
dead.
dose of vitamin C coming at us.
Jeff, you take 4 points of orange damage.
Oh, no.
So it's actually you just take like a point of damage because you
Okay.
got hit in the head with an orange. That was just a hit. So like you have 1 less health.
Do we have, I was going to say, I don't see my HP on my sheet anywhere.
Yes, you do. It's in the middle. Max.
Oh, I have 10. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
so you're-
It's
so you're-
very small font. I'd like to speak to somebody about that.
Where is it?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
So I know.
There's a little box underneath it for you to take notes.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Yep. So you have 9 health. Red 2 is going to run up and try to shove Doan.
I do, no.
And he manages to get a good grapple on Doan and shoves him into a table where Doan crashes into like a big ol' mess of microwave lasagna.
No.
That burns.
It's not good. It doesn't hurt him. It's just gross.
My Dunkaroos, no.
no, my dunks. I need those dunks.
They're bringing Dunkaroos back. Y'all see
I
that?
know. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
2020 just got better.
Fuck yeah, I did.
All right.
Everything about this year is so good.
So that cord, we're gonna have to get you a stand. I swear.
Me? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's me. I'm
Oh,
just
it's okay.
relaxed.
Too chilled.
I'm just chilling.
We'll have
Okay.
a stand by next week. Or
That'll
whatever.
be good. Then Emma can feel uncomfortable because we'll have one of these boom stands for her.
Nice. One of us.
One. Oh,
So
Oh, we're done now.
So,
Okay.
at this point, Salt, you've been like following up the stairs and you ran past some kids, but now you've gotten to the top and you see like the commotion. What do you want to do?
This is a fair question. Because I would really, gosh, I think infestation would be fun. But we've already seen it.
The food fight. We're not murdering children.
you're just like, hurt everyone.
But I can cast it for free.
Exactly. And I'm not athletic.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want me to stab them?
You should have brought book bag with you.
Book bag.
So what would you like to do?
Until he comes back.
Book bag can't do shit. Okay, so I think it would be highly entertaining if one of them got covered in bugs.
Very well.
Say that about everybody.
I'll say, let's see, I'll pick one for you.
Jeez,
So basically, like you make an incantation at one of the students, and Genuine sees it, and he's like, "All right." He goes like that, and this kid, the spell works a little differently in this situation because there's so much commotion. So instead of him being like bitten by a flea, he's stung by a yellow jacket, and he gets hurt for like 2 damage. So he's not like. That's not a ton, but the fact that it was a yellow jacket freaks him the fuck out.
Yeah.
And he goes running.
There's
I trip
a hive
him.
somewhere nearby.
Yeah,
No.
it's not good. He goes running and he like I'm gonna do this because this will be funny. Oh damn.
Oh, damn.
I got a 1. He like a comedian slips on a banana that has been tossed about in the melee.
Nice jobs.
So he's stung by a bee,
Just like eating banana in the
slips,
corner.
and then he takes 5 damage total. And he's like on his back, like, ah!
Oh no, he has to be homeschooled now. I'm sorry, fantasy homeschooled.
So he is prone. So he's going to get up and he's going to reach for a just like a bun or something and just throw like it's a bun with like curry in it, and he throws it at our favorite bard, Wren.
Oh no.
Oh no, curry.
I'm allergic.
What's your armor at?
My armor is 14.
Okay.
Damn.
You and I are very similar on
So
our build.
he
Hell yeah, we are.
you get beamed in the head with a bun with beans in it.
Ow.
And you take 2 damage from
You should
that.
grab it and
Dang it.
eat it to get the health back.
It is quite delicious. They got it from the cart.
I'm like, it hurts so good.
Doan sees that you got bopped, and he runs up to that Red who did it, and he just like straight up just like kicks him in the face.
And
Oh,
I
wow.
immediately
And
teenage feelings.
Yeah. yeah.
You
Oh,
start
yeah.
writing
Wow.
poetry
Yeah, he-
about Doan.
he kicks him in the face, and that kid is just knocked out.
Oh.
So that one he's
I'm assuming we
Right?
can't. I'm assuming we can't really murder people hopefully in this game.
I'm gonna try.
depends on the person.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
I probably won't let you kill kids.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be like.
Trust me, there's gonna be stuff to murder
if
in
that
this. Don't worry
happens
about it.
in the second arc, we're all going to be like mentally fucked up.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
All right, we now come to everyone's favorite bard, Wren.
That's me.
What would you like to do?
After I get pummeled with some beans and buns,
Yeah, the kid who did it is already knocked
he's
out.
knocked out.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know.
So you have your rapier equipped. You have weapons.
There's
Yeah.
food
you
everywhere.
have food everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for the head of the snake. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go
Yeah.
for Bill. He's laughing like an idiot.
He's vulnerable.
Thinking I could swoop in and just.
Will damage
Slit his
take him out
throat.
of his spell though?
Oh
God
no.
tells me yes.
Depends on what you do.
Oh, good grief. It depends on what I do.
Make more of them laugh.
Make more of them laugh. I don't know.
If
Can
you-
I do my vicious mockery?
Ooh.
Insult the shit out of him.
Hurt his
Gil
feelings.
or somebody else.
I could do somebody else.
Just whatever you want to do. Just so I'm clear what's happening.
I'm just gonna take out one of the yucks.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fighting.
Makes these guys look like fools.
read to me what vicious mockery does.
Vicious mockery. You unleash a string of insults laced with subtle enchantments at a creature you can see within range.
Hell yeah.
If the target can hear you, though it need not understand you,
Oh.
it must succeed on a wisdom saving roll
Roast
or take
battle.
1d4 psychic damage to have a disadvantage next turn.
Okay.
Next, yeah.
Nice.
So what do you say?
Do a your mama joke. Can you do that?
Hey, your mama's hair's so thin, her braids look like stitches.
What?
You heard.
He's like, my feelings.
My mom.
My mom.
And he takes fucking 4 points of damage.
Wow. God, what a
you
mama's
roasted
boy.
him hard.
Wow, you did roast
I
this.
really,
man.
before this next session, I'm going to look up some insults.
Dude, that kid had a fucking Oedipus complex.
You eviscerated him. All right, Hemlock.
So, I want to. Does anybody bring, I don't know, some sort of like cream pie to lunch today?
I'll allow it.
What's that?
I'll allow it.
I'd like
I'll
to.
say someone was probably eating like a dessert.
Or maybe Genuine like slipped one.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, I
table.
imagine whatever it is you're trying to find, Genuine is actively looking for.
Thank you,
And
Genuine.
you don't know he's there. You just reach out like, oh, hey, a pie.
Guardian Angel Genuine. I would like to fling a cream pie in the face of one of the assailants.
Okay, make an attack roll plus dexterity.
Plus dexterity. No, that's a 5 plus my dex, which is +3, so it's a 8.
So you pick up the pie and fling it towards some of the one of the reds, and you miss, and it now lands on the ground and just looks like a big slippery mess.
Oh no, I'm sure that's not going to do anything
no.
later.
So red one, the one that you made fun of, having taken notice of that, picks up an apple,
Oh.
which are like rocks.
Yeah.
If you ever get hit by one,
You
and he
chuck
flings
them.
it.
Savage.
He really loves his mom.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my
She dropped
God.
me off to school today.
She
So
told me she loved me.
So as he goes to fling the apple, he misses and he slips on the pie.
Hey, I helped.
Yeah.
And
I'll
he
look at you with this well-placed food.
Yeah.
The banana
It was a
peel, not
trap.
pie.
Banana.
slips and he kind of busts his head and he's unconscious now too.
Wow, dang.
So yeah, he's a little hurt.
Guys, we are fucking.
No.
Just
We're gonna
in
be
time for that,
dangerous.
Red 2, seeing that like the tide is not going in his favor, he just runs away.
Okay.
Cool.
Red 2 is like, oh fuck this.
Sounds like a high school fight.
Because remember, he was not he was not expecting Doan to have like the entire school on his side, nor was he expecting like you
Powerful
guys.
bar.
Yeah.
It's called the
I
power
know,
of
playing those
friendship.
tunes.
Okay, so he runs off. The next guy, seeing Red 2 run off. Wow, I'm rolling like shit.
Babies.
I got a fucking 3. He goes. So now, pretty much now that like the Reds, when they saw that like a couple of them had gotten knocked out from food and one very strategic "Yo Mama" joke.
These thin-skinned Reds.
Yeah, it was real bad.
But
They-
cupcake.
They've run away, and now the only one left is Gil,
Oh yeah.
and he's just laughing. And at this point, it's been like a couple of minutes. What's the duration on Tasha's?
It's 1 minute.
Okay, so it's been a bit. So like he actually has been laughing for a little bit, and he stops,
He's definitely got like a side ache.
and he's like,
Hey,
that was cute. And he stands back up to his full height, and he is very tall. And he spies you over, and he's like, "We'll finish this later, Doan. How about that?"
Okay, we will.
And then he turns around and he starts walking away. And as soon as he gets out of sight, you hear some stomping. Like you guys like recover pretty quickly. You pull each other back up, and you're just like covered in schmutz. It's like, oh, that was really good, your mama joke. Like everyone's like, everyone who's up there, like everyone's in a good mood because it's like, oh man.
Mama joke. I love it.
If any of you were hurt, you can just say you have full health. Like Doan comes and puts like a hand on your shoulder and heals
so
you
can
up.
I
Hit you with the
back up?
hammer.
Yeah, yeah. And as soon as you do that, up the stairs is Professor Cowan and Professor Aloy, who is in charge of the shop class.
Yeah,
shop class.
I'm in that class.
Is the yard duty
And-
with them? What's going on?
Well, the last person up is Headmaster Lewand, and he is a very old elf who runs the school, and he sees everything that happened.
I have a
And-
feeling I know what his voice is going to be like.
And
yeah.
before,
Yeah, I think I do too.
not anymore. No, as soon as you guys see him, and before you have a chance to move, he puts up his hand like this, and he goes, "Everyone freeze."
Not what I-
Oh, I see what you did there.
And your legs just seize up, and he's like, "All of you to my office." And that's where we'll stop for the day.
I'm about to fight the machine.
I didn't get to kill
Mage
anybody.
against the machine.
Oh God, I'm about to
This is
mage
where you
against the
start.
Hey everybody, it's JoJo just coming in one more time to remind you that our Session 0 episode is available on youtube.com/JoJoHasFun right now, and you can go check that out. That episode is going to be coming to the podcast next week, April 3rd, and episode 2, when we get to see what happens after this food fight, comes out April 10th. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes and Podbean and all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Thank you.